Hey there. So today I just wanted to show you a knife that I just recently finished, and it is a friction folder. So I wanted to make a file knife, and I didn't want like a fixed blade or anything, so I just wanted a folding knife. So I went with, this design of the blade, which I liked, and the handle I kind of just had to go with this sort of shape because the way I tried to figure out how to make a folding blade was to put the pin back here and put an indent in here. There's another way of doing it where you put this pin much closer to here and you put a very big notch in here angled this way so that when you close the blade, it wouldn't hit that pin that's right there. But when you open it, it'll stop just fine with a thick tang like that. So this is what I went with. And since these are just pins, I can't really adjust how tight this is. So right now it's fairly smooth and easy to move, which isn't really good because it can open in my pocket easily. But the handle material is hickory. I used from an old broken shovel handle. The liners here are an old aluminum cookie sheet that my mom was throwing out. So I used that for the liners to add more strength and to kind of make it look pretty nice. I thought it looks nice. So I just, simply rounded off the handles. I left this pointy because I thought that this was the only kind of like point here. So I would make it flat going up to it, flat all the way, flat here. So there are imperfections, like in here the liner doesn't go all the way out to the wood handle, like it's set back from the wood handle, so that's one. The blade centering is pretty bad. It'll just stay right there on that side instead of in the middle like that. It's not perfect, but for my first try at a folding knife, it's pretty fun and it's pretty cool. I like it. So, I ended up with a little bit shorter blade, so the blade, starts there, but the handle goes over it, so it's not like I can really use it. But that's fine. It kind of just looks nice how it just goes all the way right into the handle. So I heat treated the metal in an oven for like 6 hours at 450 degrees, and that softened the file so that I could file it. So I used my filing jig and filed away at the file to get this shape. Well, before that I took an angle grinder and cut this, and using numerous files to kind of make that groove in there and make this back piece here. And so once I finished with the fit and finish of the blade, for the most part, I put it in a forge and got it red hot for a while, and then did the magnet test and it wasn't magnetic, and then I put it in a bucket of oil, let it cool down, and then I finished it up some more since there's some imperfections in the after the heat treatment, like right here and right here. There's a bunch on here where it was just, you can still see them, they're like pits or something. So I filed a bunch of those away, but I didn't want to like take away too much of the metal that I already had there. I didn't want to keep on going until all of them were gone, because then I wouldn't really be left with much of my original blade shape and design. So after touching it up after the forge, I put it in the oven again at 350 for about an hour, and then it hardened pretty nicely. And then I took sandpaper and because it was like a little brown, a little light brown. It was kind of weird, so I took sandpaper and kind of filed that off, and then I put it all together. So I used contact cement to glue the metal and the wood liners together. So that's pretty much all that's holding this together. And I used just some plastic from the recycling bin as washers inside there. And the pins I had to buy, that's a shear pin and that's just a regular pin. So this was a 1/8 size hole that I drilled. And I tried putting a 1/8 pin like this one in here and it wouldn't fit. So I had to do the shear pin route. But this pin fit. I don't really know why, but oh well. So I don't know if I'm gonna put a finish on this, like beeswax, or rub it in for a while, let the wood soak it up, and then kind of wipe it off, or linseed oil, or if I'll stain it first so that it's a dark color, because I do like if that were to be a really dark brown, kind of like a dark brown like this one. That may look black on the screen, or dark brown like this, or darker than that. I think maybe that something kind of stain like that would make this look nice. But this was a fun project. It took me, I don't know how long it took. Maybe probably a good 24 hours. I spent a lot of days, 3 hours a day, doing this slow and steady work. Sometimes more than that. But the pretty grippy back here, but it was more grippy before, and since I put it in the forge, it lost some grippiness to it. And I didn't file down this file at all because I wanted it to be fairly obvious that it is a file. But this was a fun project. Fun to make, hard to make, a little challenging at times. It took me some thinking where to figure out the pins and how to do the handle to fit that, but as you can kind of see, this is the flat part right here, and if we keep that flat, the blade extends with that flat line right there. But then when it closes, it doesn't close all the way up like that. It doesn't close all the way like that. It closes down at an angle so that it doesn't touch that pin, which is why I had to curve the handle down like this so that the blade could close and be protected and not hit the pin. And that's what this wood spacer is, what's stopping the blade from going and getting in contact with that. So it's fun, it's cool, I like it. I could have done a better job for sure. I could have done something differently. I could have, would have, should have, but the way that it turned out, I'm fairly happy with it. It was definitely a fun project, and it kind of looks cool, I think. I mean, the handle's not like such a nice, elegant design. Maybe some lines and some curves are a little goofy, but and the blade could have closed a little deeper. It's kind of right there at the end. But so that's that. Thanks for watching.